This is Justin with the scoop on SPY. I'm on the daily here, and I just want to kind of show quick here. We've had this kind of a pattern forming, kind of a double top with the gap down that moved through the neckline, then kind of retested. This is also kind of like a flag here. If we get a move down, we've got some strength to that. Or we may have just bounced off of pretty much the 200. This is the 21 I've got here, but the 200, and then we could just grind higher and make a new all-time high. Entirely possible. Let's jump in to the 3 minute today. And again, quickly, because it's late, we let's move the 12 there. There you go. Okay. We ended up gapping down to there, had a quick buying, put in basically a stair step, and then launched higher, and then turned into this thing, which just it started to look like it was going to roll over. It held a base. It's like, okay, it's going to go. And then something flushed and took out that low, which I'm sure stopped out some folks. And then this ran back up, and this put in a really nice sideways trend. And what I like to see with these is we've already had one rollover. Let me do this again. We already had one rollover and then another. We should get another. It's just a matter of when. So we can look here to see when. We've got kind of a small channel here, starts to break down and retests and then rolls and rolls really nicely. I'm going to show you an option right here because I did not get filled by 5 cents. But as this was rolling down, I'm anticipating a bigger push lower. So I got into the next option out somewhere over in here. Actually, it was earlier. I got in a little bit before 2 o'clock. I think I got in at 159, and then I was out at 212, really pretty much about there, wishing I had held to there, but I was in an option and had no idea what would happen with that candle, which was great because that candle took out this low. This low had already been taken out and actually came right back down. The next candle then came right back down to this place here. So we still ended up above that. We're still bullish on the day, but there's definitely some weakness that came in. Okay, I'll come back to the option. Let me pull up TradingView where I actually have a lot of things tracked with some channels here. So starting from the left, this is yesterday. We've got this orange channel. The heavier orange lines are the high and low of yesterday. Moving averages are the other dashed lines, and then this is the orange channel. So all day yesterday we stayed within kind of this opening high, this low, and then trending up slightly to this upper wick, came right back into that at close and just kind of petered out. So then during the day, we also formed this up channel here where just these pink peach kind of lines here were trending up. We gapped open, our gap below that at open today, but immediately got right back into that range. This is where we started to do this kind of stair step, starting to roll over, got right really close into that, and then just crushed through and up into up above this uptrend channel. So this tells you this is just kind of another S curve that's just going higher. Then I drew in this purple one here. This is grabbing the low from the open today, kind of follows along with the trend line up at the highs here where it's kind of making some higher highs here. But then it does actually connect with the low that we made over here. What's really great to see is that when we started to actually break this, when we started to actually break down over here, we had a bull candle, we had a bear candle pushing down, retested with this bull candle, and then pushed back down. I was looking for this to come up just a few more cents here, maybe another dollar, and would have been filled on that option. And that's all I was looking for, and it missed me by 5 cents. I'll get back to it. But I would have been in this. Actually, I still would have missed that candle. But I would have probably made quite a bit more right here looking for that rollover. All right. Let me switch back to not this. Okay, so now we get the white. So we I drew in, so this is just matching, drawing everything after the fact, but I had the purple one I had drawn in at some point earlier, the white one I drew in next because I saw these highs were really nice, and I drew it to here thinking, okay, this just is a trap. This one's just a trap. Let's go to this and see what happens there. Even if you were to expand this one lower, it kind of lines up with this over here, but it didn't really help anything. It would have been a great target for that move down. Maybe that would have been a better place than right here. But with this, this is the daily 10 EMA right here. I thought that would be a good target to have right there. Uh, okay, so the other thing I will point out with the white, actually, let me get to the yellow. So the yellow is steeper, looking at this high point here, the lows here, and just saying, okay, what does this mean? Does it mean anything? It really didn't amount to much here. We just were grinding sideways. What it did do, though, is it basically called the bottom. So the yellow is key because it called the bottom of where this thing really needed to bounce. We were still bullish on the day because that low um, was higher than the open and the low. So that was really crazy to see that we could get below the 5,200 price and still bounce. So there's still buyers down here. We're back into this orange channel, kind of in the middle. If you look at this, this is that orange channel. We're kind of in the middle area of that orange channel. Um, that's kind of where we opened. We opened kind of in the middle of it. This was kind of in the middle. So like we were we were trending up with it, but I didn't move the line to kind of match it. Um, I guess if I wanted to, I could just draw this probably a little steeper. Yeah, so if I kind of grab this low, I can adjust this one down a bit. Yeah, so then you're still cutting through the bodies of this one. I still like where I had it, so I'm gonna put that back, obviously, but for the sake of this video, you can see kind of the progression of these. So, and then after the yellow one is this blue one here. I'm starting to run out of colors, right? So the blue one is this is just kind of that grind, kind of making some higher highs, higher lows, kind of. But it's more just showing, okay, this is where the premium is getting sucked out of all kinds of stuff. Yes, we're breaking above the white. What does that really amount to? We had so much bear strength. What I'm really looking for is, are we going to get any sort of strength coming through above that open of that red candle? And so we got a little bit of movement up there, but no real strength. Each time, like one time it got out, came right back down. Oh, hey, look, we're bouncing. Got out, came right back down. All right, so keep all these things in mind. The next thing I'm going to show you is that all of them? I think that's all of them. Okay, so blue is the last one. Yeah, it's kind of still hard to see here. So if you draw, I'm just going to draw kind of highlighting the white one, and I'm going to draw highlighting kind of this purple one. Okay. This makes a really, really, really nice symmetric triangle. Mostly symmetric, a little bit more bullish than bearish. You can see you've got the breakouts, didn't amount to anything. You got the breakdown after that. It's coming to a point. The white and the purple coming to a point. It's also retesting this peach channel right there. Like these are converging all at that point. Something's going to happen. And it's just been my experience when this is happening with these bizarre sort of spikes in movement, even the recovery here, like this is setting up for a bigger push down. So all these things were telling me, hey, just get in bearish, just be in bearish. So I was looking to be in the, let me check which option. I was looking to get into the 52.10 put. I could buy that right around here for 0.5 for 50 bucks for one contract. Okay. That was my entry. That's what I set it as. The low on that was 55, not 50. I'll show you because that's the one thing that kind of hurt. So if we go over and look at, here is the 52.10 put that expired on the 3rd. And you got to kind of just hang with me here. So out of all these low prices in here, so it was a little bit later. So if I had had it set up earlier, zero point 0.5 would have filled here, here, actually only here. What I'm usually looking for in this case, that we get the same low or take out the low slightly. We'd been making lower lows. We kind of bounced. Expect, just the premium to get sucked out and it comes down, makes low. It only made it down to 0.55. I don't know if that would have filled, but I had it set up for 0.5. And then it started to do this, started to push up to $1. I'm like, I need to be in this because it's going to have a bear move. Everything in the chart is telling me it's going to have a bear move. I need to be in this. And so then I went with the 52.05 put, which is a little further away, and I didn't know how big of a move it was going to have. So again, let me just draw this, or let me zoom in on this. So that I was getting in over here at, I think again at 159. Let's see if it's still in my history here. I'm checking. Trying to find it. 159. 1:59 p.m. So right here, I was filled at 0.5. This is Central Time. It's filled on this candle at 0.5. All it did was come down to 0.4, so that was really nice. And my stop is basically absolute zero. So I'm okay losing the $50, per contract. And you got this little spike up to 1. It's like, oh, that was nice. And then it's right back down to 0.5. It's like, no, this is going to do more. So this is the option. And then because I'm further away, I'm at the next strike. This is, SPX has strikes every $5. So I'm at further out strike than I really want to be. I just want to be in. Just kind of scalp this. So I set my target to 1.5. And you can see it just keeps on going. And so as it starts to move there, it's like, oh, hey, look, it's coming up to $1 again. Oh, it's flying through $1. Oh, I'm out. I'm out. Got in at 0.5. I'm out at 1.5. And this proceeded to run up to 10, which you multiply it by 100, and that's $1,000. So I could have, maybe if that had filled, if I had a target there, I wouldn't have. My target would have been, usually I aim for 500. So buy for 50, target at 550. So you're making $500 a contract. And then looking at this chart, it's like, well, maybe I would have set it at about 4 because that would have been these prices here. 5.5 didn't quite get that over here. So, it's not a guarantee that it's going to get to 5.5, but you're playing around with some of these previous wick here or previous high here. And so I still would have been comfortable with 5.5. That's actually what I was setting up. I think, let me see if I have my previous setup. Yeah, I even tried to move it to the other one, the 5210. Oh no, the 5205 is the one I use. Yeah, the 5210 I tried to set up with 0.55 with a target of 5.55 and couldn't get filled at 0.55 either. It had already gone with that way. But I was looking for $500 a contract on that with this kind of setup, this kind of move. So if we come back to, no, I want to come back to Trading View. So we come back to Trading View, we can see, so at 159, that was on the 3-minute chart. So that was on this candle, this one right here, looking at the screen. So this candle was filled. It did this. I was not, so I had a little bit of concern that somehow we were going to recover this peach channel and start to bounce. But we had so many lower wicks with the 10 right here. It's like we should at least tag the 10. We did it already here. We did it here. We should at least tag the 10. If we could push through the 10, and if this starts to play out where there's some bearishness coming in, we should really get a push much further down. So at that point where we're taking this out with this candle at 209, that's where I should have moved my target further out, anticipating, okay, we're at the 10 on the daily. What are we going to do here? We should push a little lower. Maybe I can get, a little bit more. Maybe instead of 1.5 target, I could go 2.5. I still don't think I would have set it at 5.5 because I was not anticipating this kind of a candle and then this candle. I wasn't anticipating that the yellow channel would come to play or the yellow bottom line here would come to play and that would hold the low. or at least come that far, so close to the open. So I know to the right here, this looks like a jumble. It'd be, I like having these right extensions turned on just to see, does the channel pick back up somewhere? But these are the things I was keeping an eye on. And there was just a lot of other choppiness and a lot of other uncertainty earlier in the day. Um, I can turn on, this is kind of a 10 EMA. So there was some things going on here with this. You had the resistance here, you had just some chop, and then you had an inverted hammer, and then that turned into some selling. This would have been a great setup to just sell back down, even to the 10 as a target, or even just looking for kind of some S curve, which we got until this massive candle here. So, I'm drawing with I'm not actually drawing, I'm just using the mouse. So this is a really nice S curve. You could have played this portion right here bearish with that resistance that was coming in, just to play the S curve there. And then, again, once we came way down here, we just push right back up and then sideways. It's like, okay, are we really going to break out and continue higher? The resistance we were seeing here also met up with, I think it was the previous low from before this day. It may have been Monday's low or a couple days ago's low. So we were basically in the daily, forming, let me go back to the daily on, I'm bouncing back with some charts, but I did more drawing. Okay, it was a few days ago. It was back on the 26th. So this is when I first started this video. This is like the head and shoulder shape where here's the neckline. We've even closed. Oh, is this day we closed that gap, or at least the low, not the gap itself, but the low here was 52.29.20, and the high here was 52.28.75. Oh, we didn't close it. I thought we closed that today. We still have like 40, 45 cents of an open gap. I didn't realize that. Thought we had actually closed that. That's interesting. So it's not very much space. That's only 45 cents on a $5,000, yeah, $5,000 price SPX. So maybe not so concerning. It looks like it closed it, to the naked eye there. But anyway, if we, like I said, if this is flagging, and if we get any more bear move, we've got kind of, this is where I'm seeing, okay, let me zoom back out here. We've got just a bunch of kind of double top shapes. So we've got this as a double top with a neckline retest. I'm kind of drawing, if you draw it straight across the neckline, as straight as I can draw. And then you've got this, right? This is the same thing. We're seeing this fractal setup, double top. In this case, we made a higher high on the right side. We made the higher high was on the left side here, but still kind of just the fractal idea of, this can be happening at, in multiple different time frames at the same time. Uh, so it's playing out on the daily. Looks like today's 3 minute also, and we just kind of have to wait and see how it all plays out. So the only other thing I saw here was when it got down here, this recovery was really nice. You could have been buying again for 0.5 down here and selling it at 2 or 3, something like that, on the 52.15 call. The 52.10 call was a little too pricey, but this was a really nice kind of double bottom shape here and didn't really retest, didn't have a neckline retest going bullish. You just kind of had to know, or had to, maybe not know, but you had to kind of play like, why are we down this low? Should we be down this low? What if we get a bounce? This was not one of those days where it's just the capitulation and just keeps on taking out lows and into the close. That day has not come yet. I think that day is coming soon. Um, but this is what I love to do with these kind of trades. So obviously I was trading uh the 52.05, very inexpensive, but with you know, 61 minutes left to market close with this kind of a setup, um, you know, with this kind of compression here and seeing where S curves are coming in, seeing where we were taking out levels, seeing the retest. I just had a few more cents retest here. Watching for 10 EMA setups, like all of it coming together saying we should roll and the buyers aren't going to be able to hold this because they didn't hear. And that was our warning sign to there should be more coming. And if I was in that other contract, I would have had a much further away target because I had to go further out. I was basically in this strike and I was not sure we would get to this level. If we were in this strike, I knew I was going to get near the money or at the money much sooner. And so I knew that the option contract would um, have more value much sooner. Like you're literally playing with, you know, a very small window. If you just hold this, this was worthless at the end of the day. This was zero at the end of the day. You can't hold those into the close. You have to play a very quick time frame when everything is lining up. And I did that for only about 13 minutes today. That was the only thing I traded on SPX with the options, and I had a nice little gain on that. Not as much as I wanted, but I'm actually really happy with that because what I was recognizing, all the other things I just deleted, all that stuff that I was recognizing played out really, really well. So hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.